Patrick Wayner. I go by Patchwork. I'm a visual artist. What got me started in art was, it's kind of one of those things where it's just a need. It was just something that would just kind of grow into me, and I really had to express it and put it out there. And I grew up with my father who had a woodworking station in our basement, and I lived next to that. So I was always helping him out doing woodworking stuff, and it really just turned into my own style where I could take what I learned from him and what I learned from just kind of life experiences, put together in a style that's really cohesive and really something I like to do. So I create my work, and I have a couple different styles that I do. The first style would be the wood cutout. It's like a terrarium box, and I do what I consider like an amoeba style, but I use a scroll saw, cut out the designs, and then I use paint, acrylic style, and then I also would do like charts, maps, and use those for like intricate like pieces of the design itself, and really kind of set off kind of a natural like growing element within the box. And then I also have a style that I do with animals where I deconstruct them as far as their faces and kind of reconstruct them in my own way using patterns and illustration techniques, and which can include screen printing and stencil work. I've had that style for a really long time. It was probably one of my first styles that I really like came up with, and I never really kind of figured out how I wanted to display it. And I just happened, I was like, well, I love working with wood, and I don't understand why I don't put them together. And then once I made the first one, I was like, oh, I can really do a lot with this. And what I was hoping to do, eventually, is do really big pieces, like freestanding wood cutout pieces, which I think would be really interesting. Every part is my favorite. I make a joke with my wife that art is my mistress, and I try to cheat as much as I can, but she's really good about letting me, work through the process and work as hard as I can. We just had a new son, so taking what I kind of get from them and expressing it out is probably my favorite part. I'm also very partial to the smell of wood in the morning. Cutting the wood is for some reason one of my favorite smells in the world. So my personal goals for my art, it's kind of hard to explain. I really just started having some more time to put into it. So right now I'm just trying to get my stuff out there and get it kind of recognized and try to get maybe a little following, a little feedback, maybe where I can go from here. So really that's one thing that I do like about the shows here, is I feel like I get a lot of different ideas because there's a lot of eclectic groups here. It's not just art, and it's it's fashion, it's all that stuff. So my goal really is just to keep working as hard as I possibly can, and hopefully something comes out of it. But I have a pretty good life regardless, so as long as I get to make my art, I'm pretty happy with that. So you can reach me and get more information about my work at paintedpatch@gmail.com. You can check out my Instagram feed, which really keeps up to date with all the stuff that I'm doing at paintedpatch. And then you can always check me out on Raw.